warm greetings to everyone. Thank you for taking this time out. Being here with me for this session, which is called the Unscheduled Pause, Unlocking the Genius Within. Somebody rightly said that unscheduled pause, which was scheduled way back. Yeah, so that was a good one. So, as Nishat just said, I work as a psychologist and counselor, mental health practitioner, and I specialize in movement and art therapy. I practice in Bangalore, where I support individuals, group in different settings, and these corporate spaces is one of my favorite because these are the spaces like today, which brings together so much of diversity, so much of talent, people with different experiences. Also, a lot more stress and work pressure, and at the same time, potential, creativity, and possibility. So it brings all of this together. So in these spaces, I have found that sessions like these allow all of us together to slow down, to kind of step away from this usual rush and reconnect with our inner self, our inner space, our creative self. But some of us, probably many of us, don't get chance to really pause because we just move through our days so quickly that we, rarely get a genuine pause. And over time, this constant pace, this constant doing mood can cloud our clarity, creativity, make us feel fatigue, and so on. But when we give ourselves even a few intentional moments of slowing down, we often feel our energy gets reset, our thoughts become clearer, and new ideas start to flow. I'm sure you all must have experienced this at some point in time in your life, right? So in today's session, and there are various ways of taking pauses. Today, we will use some very simple art-based activities to create this space of pausing. We have kept the activities simple so that there is no complexity of getting the complex art material, or I'm not good at art. That is out. Art skills are not required at all. So they are very simple activities, but they can bring profound meaning and self-discovery. All right, so let's begin. Uh, I'm sure people must have arrived and sitting in front of their screen, settled in, and let's give ourselves this small pocket of time to reconnect with ourselves. Let's move the slide. Right, so let's get started with this session. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, thank you. So as I just said, this session is based on a little bit of play element is there and art. What we really truly need for this session is simply your own permission to yourself to be here, present. When I say to be present, not only for the session, but to your own experiences out of the activity we will do together. Okay, so give yourself permission to be free, to play, to explore, to reconnect. We don't have to judge anything, just try to stay in the process. And we are not expecting any outcome, like aesthetic outcome of this artistic activity. No perfection, no judgment. Just remember process over product and curiosity over perfection, right? So end product is not important, but the process. And we will need some very basic material. I'm sure all of you have received the message telling you about the material. If not, we can just wait for a minute or two and you can just grab these things and get ready to start with. We would need some paper, A4 sheet would do. Two of them, we might just use one, but just keep two handy. Tape of any sort if you have, if available. If not, then we'll find another way out. Two pens or two pencils, color pencils, crayon, markers, sketch pen, any writing material, but we will need two of them. Okay, so let's just wait for a minute if you really need to gather these things and be here. And whatever is available, okay, let's not get stressed about this. So let's take 1 minute pause in this unscheduled pause to gather these things. Okay, so we'll briefly look at the significance of pause. What does it mean to you? It can be different for different people, right? How do you take those much needed pauses if you do? We'll also look at what is creativity, what does it mean to be a genius, but we'll keep this brief and so that we have enough time for our activities and reflection. That's more important. Okay, so this will be followed by activity one, which is a simple drawing activity. We'll experience it together. It's a fun play method. And then we'll share our experiences and reflection out of this activity. Then we'll move to the second activity, which is called from form to flow. The first activity is from chaos to form, and then we'll move from form to flow. Just this is again yet another very simple activity which require only paper. Again, followed by your sharing, closing, and integration of everything we would do together. And of course, if there are any questions, they will be answered at the end. However, apart from this, if you have any questions, like pressing questions you really are not in the process want to ask, please put it in the chat and I'll try to answer them then and there. If not, we'll look at them towards the end. So I'm assuming everybody has gathered the material which is required. And let's move to the next slide, please. And I'm sure everybody would agree when I say almost everything starts working when we unplug it for some time, isn't it? That's the first, go-to thing. If something is not working, let's switch it off and switch it on. So that includes ourselves as well, isn't it? Okay, now let's see, when I say pause, what comes to your mind when we talk about a pause? What do you do? What is pause for you? Can you please put your answers in the chat? Let it be an interactive session. This is your session, not mine. Listening music. Yeah. So whatever comes to your mind, just keep typing. Pause means being present. Okay. Take a deep breath. Working out. Wonderful. Do nothing. Keep calm. Be calm. That's awesome. Break. Watching movie. Taking breaks. Stop thinking. Calm. Sleep. Yeah, it can be different for different people, and happy to see your answers. Stop thinking or doing. Yeah, right. So thank you for sharing. And words like these, taking a break, rest, probably slowing down, sleep, doing nothing, being calm, breathing, uh, clarity, reset. These are some of the words I often hear when we talk about pause from people. And don't you think all these responses show that all of us, in one way or another, recognize the need for a pause? Right? Sometimes we are able to take a pause, sometimes not. But what pause really is, it is not the absence of productivity or action. It is not about laziness. It is not about stopping. It is not about the absence, but presence. Okay, not the absence of productivity or action, but a sense of stillness within. When we feel that, that is a real pause. It's not that we stop thinking or stop doing. We cannot do that. Thankfully, we can't stop thinking, but we can just shift our thoughts in a different direction. We'll come to that. Okay, so when we give that freedom to just be, okay, it is a moment we create where we can return to our true self, and we get a chance to reset and come back into a balance, right? So from doing mode to being mode. So let's move forward to the next slide. And why pausing matters, right? All of you just wrote your answers, right? So there is a reason. Sometimes our body tells that I need to pause, and we do. So, taking regular breaks significantly enhances creativity and mental focus. Apart from when we feel tired, we take a pause. It also enhances our functioning of brain, our creativity, our focus. It Now, when I say this, it challenges the myth that constant work is the key to productivity, to constant be, in doing mode. Don't you think we all glorify that constant doing, constant productivity is important? I'm busy, that busyness sometimes. And we forget that we need a pause too. And taking breaks sometimes feel like a luxury because sometimes we really, really have the workload. Or when our children sometimes take a pause, it looks like, laziness, but it's not that. And science and psychology support that regular breaks aren't just good for our health, physical and mental health. They are powerful tool to boost creativity, focus, problem solving, because our brains are not designed to focus for long, uninterrupted stretches of constant work. And there have been many studies which show that after about 60 to 90 minutes, our mental performance starts to decline. This is when our subconscious process ideas. So short breaks, when we take short breaks, there are different regions in our brain. There is a network called default mode network. I'll come to that in the next slide. When that mode is active, then our mind can think about new ideas or process the ideas, that how to execute them, finds new patterns, sparks new connection. And that's why many creative insight, you must have noticed, often appear when you are not actively thinking about that particular problem, like taking a walk, taking a shower, just even, staring out of the window. Okay, the other way to look at it is when we step out of this autopilot mode of doing, both halves of our brain, the left brain, which is concerned about logical thinking and structure, and the right brain, which is imaginative, dreaming, artistic, all of that. Both of them comes into balance. So pausing is not the absence of productivity, but it is a gateway to creativity. We all have read and heard about so many, famous creative genius people like Einstein, who showed us that imagination can take us further than knowledge. Only knowledge is not enough. Only information is not enough. He proved that creativity begins when we dare to think differently out of the box. And that can happen when you really have that break. He also said that creativity is intelligence with fun. So we are also going to have a little bit of fun element in today's session. Then Steve Jobs reminded the world that creativity is simply connecting the dots in new ways. Simplicity is the highest form of creative genius. Newton, the theory of gravity, revealed that in everyday moments, like an apple falling, can unlock extraordinary ideas. Right? So behind every breakthrough is a moment of reflection, curiosity, and play. It's just that we need to give some time to that, allow that to happen. Let's very briefly look at the science behind creativity and genius. Okay, I'm trying not to make it complex, but I thought when we know the why of what we are doing, it is more effective. So hence, just a little, information. Okay, what you see on the slide. The neuroscience has provided this insight into how the brain of a genius functions, right? There are these scans, MRI of the brain, which the studies have revealed that creative individuals exhibit enhanced connectivity between different brain regions when they get a chance to get activated, when these regions of brain get activated, right? Particularly between default mode network and the executive control network. Now, what are these? Default mode network is active when the brain is at rest, or we are engaged in introspection, right? Sometimes we do journaling or a nature walk. We are just observing nature and some thoughts come and we introspect that, where is my life going on, or something related to job or personal matter, or daydreaming when you're just thinking and you are into imagination or any kind of creative ideation. Then executive control network becomes active when there is focus because it regulates that part. Focus, problem solving, decision making, high order thinking. And then there is this third network which helps switching between these two networks, allowing creative individuals to move seamlessly between the spontaneous thoughts and ideas and executing them like more structure. Okay, I have got this idea, and how do I execute it? Then you need step by step, uh, to act. That this is my plan, and I will do this first, then this, then this. So, if we take this break, then our both network are working in harmony. All right. So I hope it is making some sense to you. If not, then let's keep it aside for a while because anyway, our session is about taking a pause. All right. So let's move to the activity one and explore this through our first activity. Okay. So the last slide was the glimpse of the activity. You don't have to copy that image. It's a free flow scribbling activity using both our hands, and hence I asked you to get a tape. But if it is not there, we'll figure out how to do it. Okay, so I'm again reiterating that it's a free flow scribbling childlike activity without any expectation of any aesthetic outcome. It is just to encourage free exploration, a lot of freedom, release, movement, and so on. There are no rules, no judgment, just flow and be in the process. And now we will shift our spotlight to another camera, which will focus on the activity I will do along with you. So I hope everybody is able to see this. What you see here on the table is one white sheet. And as I asked, we need two pieces of any writing material. It can be the crayons, color pencils, or any pen. Okay, so you can choose any material. And if those who have got tape can put small tapes on four corners. If not, you can keep something heavy on the paper, like your phone or anything. The idea is to ensure that this paper doesn't move and we are able to use both our hands at the same time. That's the idea. If you can do something, you can figure out that put something heavy on the paper so it doesn't move. So let me know if when you are ready. Probably you can type yes or just a Y so that I know everybody is ready with the material. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let's wait for a moment more so that we all can start together. Thank you so much for responding in webinar. This helps. You have to be participative through chat so that I know we are on the same page, especially when these activities are there. All right. So people who are working from home, and as Nishad announced initially, you can invite your families as well, children, whatever age, any age group can participate. Okay. Okay, so I think let's start. Okay, now, as I said, we are going to use both hands together at the same time. So the starting point would be if you can just mark a center on the page. And before that, ensure that the page and the your sitting position is aligned. Like you don't have to use your hand, on one side or right or left. If it is just in front of you. Okay. So now, ready to become little children? You remember what scribbling is? So we are going to start scribbling and we are going to use both our hands together. Just if in case anybody has not been able to gather two art material and you just have one, what you can do is keep changing your hands. If you're starting with right hand, after a while use your left hand. Okay, best would be if we can use both hands together. Okay, now you just keep following the instruction and try not to stop. I will keep adding some steps, but if you continue, that would be best. And before we start, you just make yourself very comfortable in your sitting, like, your spine is erect but not strained. Keep it relaxed. Your shoulders, neck, arms, everything is relaxed. And you don't have to have a very tight grip also. And now let's begin. Just start scribbling with both your hands. And while you're doing this, you can try any direction. Generally, it comes in this opposite mirror-like fashion. I will again urge if there is any logical question coming about this activity, can we please drop it and just stay in the process? Why are we doing this? We'll see the why later. And keep moving. Focus on your paper. Once again, if you feel any stiffness or tightness in any part of your body, just please drop it. Loosen all your muscles, especially in your neck, shoulder, arms, wrist, fingers. Just drop it. Feel the flow. And you can explore different direction. We can move in one direction. You can explore different strokes. If you were doing curvy movements, start you doing sharp lines and see the difference. You can use small movements or you can use big movements. And now let's explore speed. Let's get very, very, very slow. We are just getting slow. We are not stopping. Slowest possible. And now let's increase our speed a bit, not too much. Let's increase it a little more. Operate from a childlike state. Increase the speed a bit more. More. Faster. Really fast. Faster, 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 fast, 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 fast. Run, 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 run. Don't stop. Don't stop and keep scribbling very, very fast. Fast, 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 fast. Remain like a child and just do it. Stay in the process. Very, very fast, very, very fast. Fastest possible. What is your fastest speed? Just run. Can you see my hand? No, actually, don't look at the screen. You just do. Fast, 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 fast. Very, 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 very fast, very fast, very fast. And stop. Pause. Don't stop. Don't take your hands out of the paper wherever you have. Stop. Just pause. Observe your breath. Observe your body. Probably observe what has come out on the paper. This scribble. And wherever you have stopped, now very gradually come to the center where we had started. Okay. And now you can let go of one pen or pencil or crayon, whatever you have. Okay, now consider that this dot I'm making in the center is like a dried leaf which has fallen down from the tree, right? Because it is now fallen, it is free, it is light because it is dried. And this leaf starts moving with wind. Okay, with first gust of wind, it comes here and goes back to the center. Another gush of wind comes, it goes to the right and comes to the center. Let's look here again. Yeah, you all might be able to see what figure is coming. It's an infinity sign. For little children, we call it a sleeping eight. In some spiritual sciences, we call it a lemniscate. Okay, this movement is very significant. It also matches how, it actually mirrors our nervous system as well, how it is nerves are connecting to our body. So do it with me from the center. Figure out this. Go to your left, come back to the center and go to your right and complete the figure. Again, keep dropping any stiffness if you're feeling in your muscles. And we just keep going over this shape, this form which has come. And again, we'll take few more moments. I'll add few more, tasks with it. Assuming that you don't have to type. I don't want you to get disturbed. Just stay in the process. I'm assuming that everybody is here, at this stage. So see that you are aware of this center, space towards your left and space towards your right. And now the next step is to try to synchronize your breath with it. Meaning, from center, when you're going to left, inhale. And while coming towards right, exhale. You don't have to change your breath, but you can change the speed of your drawing, of your strokes to match with your breath. So focus on inhalation and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's take a moment or two more. And whenever you feel like stopping, come back to the center and stop. Yeah, you can take few moments and together let's reflect on the activity. Okay, how was this free flow movement for you? Any thoughts or feelings that might have emerged during the process? If you want to share it in the chat, you can also see how are you feeling in your body felt relaxed. Okay. Thank you, Prashant. Any changes in your mood? How are you feeling in your body? Relaxing, feeling good, relaxed and tension free. I would like to hear from others as well. Thought stopped. I thought of songs. Interesting. Cool. Remembered one of the childhood things. Sleepy. Yeah. Mind sometimes gets so relaxed that we feel sleepy. And, this constant movement. Okay, my video is off. Sorry. Interesting and relaxed. I don't know why I was trying to write slowest from both hands, feeling relaxed though, and thought about little cousin who take participate in drawing. Okay, so some memories also emerged, right? So that happens when our mind is relaxed. We found child in us. Beautiful. Yeah, if you have any questions, also please feel free to put it out here in the chat. Yeah, so thank you so much for participating and sharing your reflections. Right, so many of you spoke about freedom, relax, sense of flows, maybe sleep, childhood, some memories, right? So these are not only, just feelings or nostalgic thoughts or memories. They are actually the core ingredients of creativity. Here we said that there are no judgments, just stay in the process, isn't it? So when we feel safe, open, and playful and curious, our brain naturally shifts into its most creative, flexible, and genius-like mode. So in this scribble activity, you actually allowed your mind to move freely. That's the same way the brain works when creativity and insight emerge. That's the moment when what I shared, the default mode network and the executive network, they start working in harmony. And our title Genius begins exactly like this, in that moment of freedom and openness, with a playful spark, a willingness to explore and step into the unknown. That's what we did. So, and this activity, when I was saying that we'll look at why of it, it is called bilateral stimulation, where we actually activate both sides of our brain when we are using both sides of our body. Drawing is one way of doing it. We can do movement. We sometimes in therapy work, we also use our eye movement. And hence exercising or dancing also helps because we tend to move all parts of our body. So both sides of our body and brain is included, is activated. So hence this can be a very good exercise for children as well. If they are going through something which is stressful, like before their exam, we can just do this little scribbling. You can do this play or just scribble. You don't have to do slow, fast, anything, but just simply a scribble. That's one. And then we kind of transition into the next activity, which was like figure eight, right? Lemniscate, where we saw the center and synchronize it with our breath, right? So sometimes it's difficult for people to meditate without any object. We all know mindfulness meditation is good for our well-being, but sometimes it's difficult. So art and movement can be another activity which helps us to become mindful. Right? So we were able to move our breath with this flow, with this form. So that can be another activity for mindfulness. Okay, so thank you so much for participating in the first activity and all for your reflection. So now let's stay in the same space and let's go to the next slide, please. So what we have just done, we created a kind of chaos on the paper and turned that chaos into something more expressive, more forming like form. Now let's give the same that inner creativity a more concrete shape now, more concrete form through our next activity. As you can see, we will be creating a boat, a paper boat. Okay, another very, very simple childlike activity. So what comes to your mind when you look at this image or when you think about a paper boat? Can we just hear it out through the chat? What comes to your mind? Childhood boat. Okay. Maybe it's rainy days, rainy day, rain. Wow. Yeah. Childhood doors, floating paper boats, rainy days, cruising. Yeah, cruise. Sailing it during Kartik Purnima festival. Sailing is another word. Happy to innovate the toy boat. Okay. Anything else? Me and my friend have a collection of paper boats, almost 110 paper boats. Awesome. Art and craft days in school. Yes, it might feel like just a child like or childish activity. We'll look at that why we are doing this. These are also the right question if somebody's having that why are we making a paper boat in the session? That's also a right question. Stay with that. Last time when my daughter made a paper boat during a rainy day. Yes. So you're seeing your child and your child. All right. Yeah, thank you all for your responses. Anything else which is coming to your mind? If you think metaphorically, isn't it a simple but powerful metaphor for the journey? And don't you think our life is also like a journey? When we say a boat represents, from one place to another, movement, growth, that from here you are reaching towards your goal, which direction you have to move. So boat also represents that. And also the ability to navigate, those tides, follow the flow. Yeah. Yeah. So flow, childhood memories, rainy days, journey, sailing, all these are the words which, pops up when we think of a paper boat. And just like we were talking about that, how if we let our creative mind become alive, similarly boat can carry us forward through uncertainties, challenges, and new territories. So we are using paper boat making as a metaphor to depict our life journey, and we'll come to that a little later. Can we go to the next slide? Colorful journey of our life, which is different for each one. So true, me. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, everybody's journey is different, right? So let's make a paper boat together, which is a simple, very hands-on activity. It also helps to slow down and connect. There is always a why when we use any artistic activity in the field of art therapy. Okay. So now as you make paper, we'll do it together. Again, we'll change the spotlight in a while. But as you start folding, notice what thoughts and feelings emerge. Probably you can think about the qualities you have carried because it is reminding you of your childhood. think about those qualities or strengths you have been carrying since your childhood. Okay, that qualities could be curiosity, imagination, problem solving, resilience, playfulness. It can be anything. Just start thinking about it while we are folding the board together. Okay, so now again we can shift the spotlight to another camera. Now for this, you can use either the same paper where we did scribbling. If not, you can take another paper. Anything is fine. And I'm sure some of you remember how to make a boat out of paper folding. And there are different ways. I have chosen the most, you know, easiest and simplest method, and I'm going to use the same paper. Okay. So same paper or different paper, it's totally your choice. Now let's follow the step together and let's make the paper boat together. So the first step is folding it lengthwise, vertically, just making this mark of the fold. Okay. And then we open it again and we fold it in another direction. Right? Folding the paper into half horizontally. Okay. Now you see this line, vertical line, that is the center line, and we make a triangle on this side, and we do the same thing on the other side. Yeah. And now you see there are two flaps of the paper. So we are going to fold it here on this side. And you can fold this like this. See here, so fold a little triangle on the back side, on both sides. Turn it around and fold another flap like this. Again, reinforcing, stay with the process. Okay. Right, so now you get this cap kind of a form. Now you open it and fold it in another direction. Okay, like this. So we get a square again. Now we are folding it diagonally, triangular, like this. And once again, we just change the direction of the fold. We open it like this and fold it from the other side. And now just open it like this. Here is our boat, which is not only a paper boat, but a metaphor for our journey. So please let me know in the chat if you have made the paper boat. Okay, that's fine. You have made another kind of paper boat. Yes, I did. Okay. And while you were making, were you able to collect any memories from your childhood or think about your strength or qualities? Missing a cannon to float this. Yeah. Creativity, curiosity, discipline, getting rid of unwanted things. Happy after the boat is greeting. Wow, thank you for sharing this. I know, see, such a simple activity. Simplicity is the key. I'm just waiting for everyone that everyone has done it. If yes, then again we can share the slide, please. Okay, so here are some questions. Thank you for engaging in this activity. For some of you, you might be questioning that.
Ma'am, can you please switch your video on?
Yeah. I did. Probably you have to change the spotlight, Nisha. I think I can still see the board. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot to each one of you for engaging in the activity. We used a very simple technique, but paper folding, making marks, making lines also does something to our mind, when we look at it, in terms of the therapeutic benefits of art. Uh, but more than that, what is important is if we can use this boat as a metaphor for the journey. For if you made one more, nice. Hera Ramya, interesting. Who's that for? Think about that, right? So let's see if we can use it as a metaphor, as I said, for a metaphor for the journey of our life, the inner navigator or inner guide who has been guiding you since your childhood till now, and to discover creative genius within. Two for your two kids. Wonderful. Awesome. So you can give that board to your kids, but I would suggest if you do these reflective questions, right? There are a lot of questions I have put on the slides. You don't have to answer all the questions, but see what resonates with you. Also, another idea is to probably take a screenshot of this slide, and you can keep reflecting and keep this board as a metaphor with you, so that as a reminder. So there are multiple ways of doing a little bit of introspection now, a journaling kind of a thing to get more clarity in your life through these simple activities. So you can look at your life from childhood till now and from now to future. That's what I'm calling as journey of your life. Right? You can imagine now, we talked about creativity. So let that imaginative mind be active, be alive. And imagine if your life were a river. How would you describe its flow from childhood till today? For some, it could be very calm, fast, meandering, surprising, layered, adventurous. These are some of the words I have written, but every story is different. Everybody has a unique journey. What were the waters of your childhood like? What kind of environment was it? What kind of waters was it? An ocean or sea or a river or a pond? And what would it look like? Supportive, playful, chaotic, colorful, adventurous? Next question to reflect could be looking back, what were the small or big moments that actually shaped who you are today? Right? Sometimes we feel that challenges are so difficult to deal with, but because you were able to deal with a particular challenge, you became what you became today. You can look at that, both adventurous and playful. So already it has started coming. Thank you for sharing, Maithili. Also, you can see if you pause and see your journey from above, like a helicopter view, like take yourself out and you are looking at your journey as an outsider. What parts feel the strongest? Do you see your growth, the courage, or any other quality, resilience, curiosity, strength? You were good in relationship, networking, whatever it is. So you can further look all the strengths, qualities, or which makes you a creative genius. Curiosity, courage, and strength. Okay. Yeah, I think let's do this question together. That what are some of your strengths which really makes you creative, which makes you you today as a person. Yeah, so I'll just still reading the question so that something can resonate with one person and other things can resonate with other. You can look at your inner strength that help you stay afloat or move forward, even in difficult times. What qualities make you feel the most you? What is your unique quality which makes your personality? Or you can think that what is that thing for which people come to you? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel in a flow state or playful? What makes you unique and original, like your inner genius is awake? Honesty and kindness. Wonderful. Such important, elements, qualities to have. Where does your creativity show up naturally, most naturally in your life? It could be work, relationship, problem solving, hobbies, discipline, empathy, consistency, etc. Yeah, there might be many more, right? So what I've read, I do what makes me happy. That's awesome. That kind of freedom, if you can allow yourself, it's wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Mona. So we can look from childhood till now. Our strengths, work, knowledgeable and able to help others. Awesome. Yeah, keep putting in. Even coordination, creativity. So wonderful. I'm assuming people who are not writing in the chat just for yourself, probably you can write down these questions or, your answers. Not everything today, but you can journal throughout the week. Complimenting, I feel more trapped in my thoughts. Rachna, are you saying now? Okay. Okay, we'll come to it. It is possible because some memories might have surfaced up. That is possible. We'll look at it. I'm here. We can discuss. Okay, so we see. Yeah, so I'll just wind up and we'll come to the question answers session. Right? You can also use this activity to look towards your future, to look towards your goal. Where do you want to reach? What are your dreams, your future vision? Where do you want to reach, and what all you need to reach there? So you can use this board and write those inner qualities probably in the inside, or you can create symbols for your uh, qualities. Somebody said curiosity, kindness, helpful, intelligent, creativity. What is that symbol? So there are some qualities which are visible to others, right? Which people can see in you. You can put on the outside. There are some qualities which only you know about yourself. You can put it inside. And what do you need to reach to your goal? That also can be created on this and put it as a reminder so that you can take step towards that goal. Okay, so all that is possible. That's how we can use anything as a metaphor. So for the closing, I want all of you to leave with one intention for your own self. Again, imagine if you're standing on a shoreline of today, okay, of this river, which is your life. What intention do you want to carry forward? That intention is for yourself. Okay, when there is intention, it's going to happen when you stay connected with your intention. Ways open up and you really can find ways to, fulfill that intention. So let's hear probably a word from each one of you. What intention do you want to carry forward for yourself? Irrespective of these activities or this session, just the intention for yourself, a vision for yourself. Can we just put it in the chat box quickly? I would like to thank each one of you for taking time out and participating, and I wish you the very best in life. Yeah, may you keep sailing through and achieve what you aspire for. Before we close, here is an invitation to download our app called CoHeal, which is a holistic wellness app designed to help you to stay connected with your mind and body and it allows you to track your key vitals like blood pressure, oxygen levels, heart rate, and stress levels, which help you to understand how your body responds to your daily habits like sleep, nutrition, and fasting. This app also offers personalized insights and guided tools to support your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. You can even book one-on-one therapy or consultation sessions directly through the app if you need deeper support. Okay, so there are a couple of therapists available on this app with who use different modalities for supporting individuals based on their needs. Uh, so thanks again, once again, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for being part of today's session and for giving yourselves the space to pause, reflect, and reconnect. A heartfelt thank you to Ms. Rakhee Mathur, ma'am, for guiding us with such insight, warmth, and creativity. Your presence truly made this hour meaningful. We appreciate each one of you for showing up, participating, and bringing your openness to the experience and sharing all your personal journeys with us today. It truly means a lot. Wishing you all a calm, centered, and fulfilling rest of the day and a very happy weekend, everyone. And before we end the session, I would want to inform you about the next session that we're going to have on our Friday musings. And it's all about hair fall and hair loss and hair health. And I'm sure everybody can understand the importance of hair, which is not gender specific. Anybody understands that how important hair is and how it brings confidence and self identity to us. So, to know more about this session, I will be looking forward to joining you guys on the next Friday musings. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.